G'day guys, Scotty here, coming to you from my backyard again. Just thought I'd run you guys through some exciting new stuff I've just scored. I went for a visit up to Southside boating and fishing on the weekend and caught up with the boys, Justin and James, in the shop there. I went to take back the Caldea and the basic gear combo that I had. You have to excuse the black cockies in the background here. It's pretty humid today and the black cockies really like to fire up around this area. As you can note out here, they get pretty raucous when the weather's like this. I went saw the boys in the shop there. I went to take back the Caldea and the basic gear combo that I've been using on the boat for the last while there. The boys challenged me to start doing a bit of soft plastic fishing, which I'd done a bit of soft plastic fishing before, but I'd never really sort of gone too hard. I'd always sort of fished it side by side with bait. At the end of the day, I'm a pretty lazy fisherman, and bait, you cast it out, you sit it in a rod holder, and just wait for a bite. I'm pretty good at catching snapper on baits, so moving to plastics wasn't really that big a deal. Plastics, you can work exactly the same. You can cast them out, sit them in a rod holder, let them just bounce on the bottom and the fish will strike them, or you can work them. I think people tend to overwork plastics, if anything. Plastics, I find anyway personally, for snapper and dewies are much better just slow stick. The slower you go with them, the better. If you try to work them hard, I think you can scare the fish off to a point. I find them working better on the drop. If anything, most of the snapper I've caught on plastics have all been taken on the drop, or when they're just sitting on the bottom in a holder, just bouncing off the bottom like that, looking like an injured bait fish, I guess. So anyway, the plastic challenge went down pretty well. I got myself that big kingfish a few weeks ago, a couple of smaller kingies on a reef the other week, and then I smacked a big pinky on the Abrolhos bullwhip on the weekend, which was good. So I took the reel back to the boys, and they basically said to me, mate, it seems to me like you really like that Caldea, so we want you to take it back again. So here it is. I've held on to the Caldea. Yeah, I really did like this reel. I mean, it's a 5,000 size reel. Actually, no, it's not. It's a 6,000 LT, 6,000 Caldea. It's a beautiful reel. It's lightweight. I mean, the specs say it's 315 grams, which is pretty light. 6-ball bearings. It's just a magic reel for catching snapper. It's got a lot of power. I really love Daiwa with these they have these big chunky handles that they feel like a winch. They act like a winch. The drags are silky smooth. Compared to some of my older Daiwa reels, they've upgraded something in the drag here as well. The drags have always been beautiful and smooth, but they tend to let a bit of water in. This one here, I've noticed after hosing it down a few times, they put a new rubber washer or something in here. There's a new rubber washer there that seems to seal quite well, and it keeps the water out, so this one hasn't taken a drop of water in. I hose them down every day. When I get home, I hose them all off with fresh water, and I'm not too careful, if I'm honest. So something like that is important for the longevity of your reel. Hose it off, but yeah, you don't really want water in the drag washers if you can help it, and that new seal seems to be working a treat. So I've got the Caldea back. The basic gear jigging game rod that they gave me to use, you guys probably saw the video. I caught the snapper, I caught the kingy on it. It was a great rod. It was really responsive in the tip. Had plenty of power down low. My only complaint about it, again, it's not really much of a complaint. It is a jigging rod. It's designed to go on your arm as a vertical jigging rod, but as a soft plastic jigging rod, I like to fish soft plastic sort of side on like this, and the butt was just a bit too long, and it was hitting me in the side of the stomach, or when I was fishing it like that, it was hitting me here. So the butt was probably 3 inches too long, which it's not that big a deal. Some people would like it like that. Other people would work it under their arm just like that, and it wouldn't be an issue. But if I'm being picky and that's what they're asking me to do, I didn't like that. So what they said is take the Caldea back, and they've given me to use next time up. Pull this bad boy out. This Daiwa, Team Daiwa Zero rod here. So this is a 7-foot rod. It's rated 6 to 10 kilo, I think. Yep, 6 to 10 kilo, 7 foot. This is probably a more appropriate rod for casting soft plastics. A, it's got a little bit longer, got a bit more length in it, so it's going to cast a little bit better. And B, the butt is just that little bit shorter. So when I'm working and twitching the rod, as you can see, it's not hitting me there. So it's probably going to be a little bit nicer to class soft plastics with, and it's probably going to be a bit nicer to twitch the soft plastics with. So I'm pretty excited to use this. This thing is just, A, it looks $1 million. B, it's super lightweight. It just feels like it's going to cast really nice. So I'm kind of excited to start using this. This is going to be really cool. Can't wait to throw a few plastics to some snapper again. Hopefully I can spank a decent snapper on it. But also I'm going to start heading in and trying to get a few kingies on the plastics again, like we have been on and off. Another good thing I noticed while I was in there, I was sort of having a look around the shop, is these things here, the TT jig locks. Now, I've been using TT heads for ages and they're great. I never realised they made a 1/6 weight head. These things are super lightweight. I'm kind of excited about these too. I've, in the past, used soft plastics on just like a normal hook with no weight at all, because like I said before, I always find the snapper hit the soft plastics on the drop and on the fall. So the slower you can make it fall, the longer it's going to spin in the water column and mid-water where I want it. And using a 3/8 head or a half ounce head is going to just make it drop that little bit faster. So these things are 1/6 in a 6/0 hook. These should have a real slow sinking rate. Casting is not a big deal from the boat for me. I don't really need distance, but the slow sinking rate should be a bit of a game changer, I think, for the snapper, especially with those bigger broless plastics, the big 7-inch bull whips. They're just going to gently just drift their way down through the water column. I think these are pretty cool. So yeah, I never realised that TT made those, but I'll be looking out for them in the future, because they could be pretty cool for fishing snapper, fishing plastics through the burley trail for pinkies. Anyway, I'll move along. So I'm going to put this to one side so I don't stand on it or something stupid. So anyway, the guys at the shop, Justin and James, they said to me, we're going to challenge you to try something else now. We're going to push you out of your comfort zone. So what they've pushed me to do now is they want me to start doing some jigging. They said, have you ever done any micro jigging? Now, I've never really tried metal jigs, to be honest. I might, maybe once or twice, I've dropped a metal jig down when I've been out drifting. I don't generally go out wide. I don't know, I don't really get off on going out wide. I prefer the inshore stuff. It's just more dynamic, more things to see. You don't have to go so far. I don't know, I just enjoy the shallow water thing. So they said they're going to try to get me to do some micro jigging. So what they've done is they've stepped it up a notch again, and they've gone from the Caldea up to this Daiwa TD Sol. That's a 5,000 size, or they call it a 5000D. I don't know, I can never work out the sizing on these reels. I would have said that was a 3,000 size, but anyway, Daiwa are calling it 5,000. I know Shimano would probably call that a 5,000 as well. I don't know how they measure it, to be honest. I'm not much of a tackle junkie. I don't really get into this sort of stuff. I just know what feels nice and what I like. And first impressions on this thing, I really like it. As you guys no doubt guessed, I was pretty taken with the Caldea. I really like that. This thing here is just even next level from that. Again, this goes from 6 ball bearings in the Caldea up to 9 ball bearings in this one. 240 grams. It is super, super light. Again, the same Daiwa handle. They're good, solid, big cranking sort of handles for the size of the reel. This thing just feels $1 million, looks $1 million. I'm super excited to use it. The guys spooled this up. They want me to micro jig, so what they've done is they've spooled this up with the Saltiga braid. This is PE2 braid. It's PE2, but I think on here it's rated at 36 pounds, so I'm not sure, but that's pretty strong. So basically 30 pound braid on this, the Saltiga braid. This stuff feels amazing. It comes out, it's like a waxy coating. It kind of almost feels like dental floss. It's really thin, really smooth, and it feels like beautiful braid. So that's fully loaded up. I think that's got 300 meters. Well, he got the full spool on, plus some backing as well. So I've got 300 meters of PE2 on that. And to fish the Daiwa Sol on, the boys are giving me this Jignesis X-Fighting rod here. Wait till you see this thing. This thing blew me away. So this is the Jignesis X-Fighting light jigging rod. It's 6 foot long, jigs from 40 grams to 160 grams. It's rated from PE, what does it say on there? Sorry mate, like I say, I'm not a tackle junkie. I don't really know all this stuff off the top of my head, but it's rated from PE 0.8 to PE 2 or tested to 7 kilos. This thing, I mean, oh my God, it just feels amazing. It feels like a very expensive kit. Again, it's not a casting rod. This is a jigging rod that goes underneath your arm, and it's made for vertical jigging. But teamed up with this Daiwa sole, it's just an amazing combo, and I'm, yeah, blown away that I'm going to get the chance to be able to fish with stuff like this. It's pretty incredible stuff. So the boys have challenged me anyway, as I was saying. They're pushing me outside my comfort zone. They want me to start doing some vertical jigging with the micro jigs. So they've hooked me up with a whole heap of Jignesis, micro jigs here. I've got them from 60 grams. This one's already rigged up. I put some hooks on that yesterday. Some 60 grams. I'll show you like this. I got 60 grammers. We got 80 grams, and we got some 90 grams for some heavier in case we go a little bit deeper or the wind's a bit stronger. It's kind of cool in a way. What they've done is challenged me to go outside my comfort zone and do something that I don't normally do. Like I say, I'm a lazy bait fisherman. I'm used to sitting there with a burley trail with a bait floating out the back and not really actively searching for fish. I've got pretty efficient at it, I guess, over the years, but I'm still pretty much a hack when it comes to most things fishing. So what they've done is they've challenged me to move outside my comfort zone. So now I'm going to start drifting. I'm going to start learning how to use my sounder a little bit better. Start letting, obviously as we're drifting, I'm going to have one eye on my sounder and we'll be able to keep our eyes out. We're probably going to find some new ground. I'm going to spend a bit of time learning my sounder, learning the bottom. I don't have any expensive gear on side my boat. I've got an old HDS 5 Lowrance on there that came with the boat. I use it mostly as a GPS. The sounder just runs on automatic at the moment. I've never really bothered to even play with it. I've just used it as a GPS. Alongside that, I run an old Furuno 4100. It's a monochrome sound that I had from a past boat. I learnt how to use that pretty well, and I understand that sounder, so I've always just sort of run that as a sounder. I never really bothered turning the HDS over to sounder. I just run it as a GPS, but I run them both side by side, so I'm going to spend a bit of time learning to use those, figuring out bottom compositions, figuring out where we need to be, and hopefully really work out the inshore scene, and hopefully we can smack a few decent fish on some metal jigs. I'm really hoping to smack a good pinky or even a big sambo or a king on this outfit. This thing, it's so lightweight, but it really feels like it's got a lot of pulling power down low. It's just, yeah, it feels like a pretty cool combo. I just can't wait to use it and actually catch something decent on it, because it feels like it's really going to pull quite hard for its size and for the weight of it. So that's the next challenge the boys have set me. They want us to go out. They also said they didn't think it was fair, the challenge between myself and Jack fishing baits and me fishing plastics. They didn't think that was a very level playing field. So basically they've challenged Jack also to start jigging with me. So we've got a handful of jigs, like I say. I've got myself another jigging rod in the shed there that I've been using for a while. So Jack's going to use the Caldea on my other jigging rod when we're not fishing plastics, obviously. And we're going to go side by side with the metals and see if we, over the next couple of weeks that we've got this gear to use, we'll see if we can't go out, and we'll do a bit of a challenge side by side, and both of us can learn to do something new and hopefully pick up some new ground on the way out. So stay tuned for that. That should be either a total fizzer where we'll catch nothing, or we might pick up a couple of black arse, a few skippy, or fingers crossed and everything goes well, we might pick up a few dewies, sambos, or some pinkies on the way as well, which will be interesting as well. So obviously with the jigs you need your assist hooks. The boys have hooked me up with all the assist hooks and everything I need, split rings. So anyway, if you guys need anything in the way of jigs, tackle, Jignesis, it's on South Street in O'Connor, Southside Boating and Fishing. Go down there and see the boys. They have got the best range of jigs you're going to see around. Their range of stick baits will blow your mind. They've got like 2 whole walls just full of stick baits. They got stuff in there I've never seen before. If you want to know any details on the tackle, don't ask me. Like I said, I'm just a hack. I'm still in awe. I just can't believe that I'm getting to use all this fancy stuff. It's kind of a humbling thing to think that people are going to lend me all this stuff to use just for going fishing. But yeah, I can't believe it. It's awesome. I know what feels nice, I know what I like, but as far as ball bearings, Zion weights, carbon fibre, you name it, whatever the stuff's made out of, don't ask me. You best be talking to the boys down in the tackle shop. Go and see James, go and see Justin, talk to Sean. They're the boys down there. They know their stuff inside out. They'll teach you something, they'll help you out, whatever you're looking for. They're the guys to have, they're the guys to ask. They know what they're talking about. Buy something, mention me, ask them. They might hook you up with a special limited edition Saltfix sticker as well while you're down there. So one last thing I've got here, came in the mail yesterday. I've been waiting for this for a little while. It's a brag mat that I just got from Westtag. So Westtag is part of the tagging program. It's run through ANSA in Western Australia. We're going to start tagging some fish. We are releasing a lot of pinkies at the moment, and we continue to do so through the year. Myself and Jack and Lee, we eat quite a bit of fish, but one fish between us is enough. The last couple of fish we've got, I've taken a slab off one side, Jack's taken the slab off the other side. That's a meal for our families. We're happy with that. We don't feel like we need to take any more, so the rest of the fish we put them back. I figured if I'm starting to put fish back, I may as well be helping out the cause and helping towards gathering data for research. So I've applied with Westtag and ANSA, joined up, and I've got myself a tagging kit now. So that's my tagging pole. They call it a tagging pole. I don't know. I don't think you'd be able to tag a marlin with that unless you're pretty keen to jump in the water and give it one. But anyway, for snapper and the stuff that we'll be tagging, snapper, dewies, sambos, that will be ideal. These are the little tags. I've never actually pulled one of these out. Anyway, these are the tags. You can see there, they've all got little numbers on them. So I'm gathering the tag goes in the pole, into the fish behind the dorsal fin there. And then you record all the details. I've got a file in the house there where I record all the details. So that's pretty exciting. I think we've got a pretty cool fishery in Western Australia here. We're pretty lucky to be able to catch snapper the way we do, to be able to catch dewies the way we do. Our fishing is pretty world class, I feel, over here, and it's all due to fisheries, doing the research, keeping things sustainable, bag limits, closed seasons. It's all working. It's keeping our fishery great. If I can be part of that solution, part of gathering data and helping to keep things sustainable into the future, make it sustainable for my kids, for my grandkids, well, that's what we're going to do, because I reckon it's a great thing to be involved with. So yeah, I'm kind of excited as well to start sticking in tags. I think I've said I'm excited about 6 times this afternoon, but I am kind of excited because this is, yeah, all pretty cool stuff. So that's it for me. That's it for me today. Those bloody cockies won't give over. That's it for me today. I'm going to put all this stuff away. I've got to go and put a couple of hooks on some of these jigs. I already rigged this one up before. I'll just show you what it looks like with the hooks on it. So these are, I guess you'd call them micro jigs. This one's 60 grams. It's got 2 hooks on it. There's what they call slow pitch jigs, so I think they sort of make their way to a bottom like an injured bait fish. So I'll be interested to learn how to use these. I've never really fished with them before, so I'll have a bit of a look online, watch a couple of YouTube videos, learn how to use them. But yeah, it should be cool, something different for us anyway, and pushing us, like I say, outside of our comfort zone to learn something new. If we can learn to smack fish on jigs, then that's just another feather in the cap and another option for days when it's too rough to anchor up, or the wind's blowing strong, or if it's calm and we find ourselves a nice bottomy, just another option. So if you like our stuff, stay tuned, subscribe, comment if you've got any questions. And like I say, guys, if you've got any technical questions about gear, please don't ask me. I'm just a hack. Head into your local tackle shop or go down and see the boys at Southside Boating and Fishing. Talk to Justin, talk to James. They'll help you out and they'll give you everything you need. So I'll see you in the next episode where hopefully we're spanking some big fish on the new gear. Yeew!